It's Pahrump Nuggets $30,000 summer cash giveaway, and that's not all. Every day of the week in June and July, we've planned something special for you. Sundays, $1.50 bowling specials, daily drink and appetizer specials at the Gold Bar, hot seat drawings and the party cart. Earn up to 10 times the points 3 days a week. Thursdays in June, win a GPS. Thursdays in July, win a 32-inch HD TV DVD combo. Every Friday and Saturday, 10 lucky people will walk away with their share of $30,000. Where the fun never stops, Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino.
I don't need no more. There you go, do something. I'm with Al Balquay. Tell me what's going on with Grow Ponics.
Well, you know, I could almost say my guess is as good as yours, but I appreciate you asking me that question because it gives me an opportunity to tell people things that they weren't aware of. There was so much misinformation or misunderstanding is a better thing at Growponics that it just really astounded me. You know, Growponics was going to come here and was willing to lease and eventually buy 60 acres of land that the town had. Very few assets that we have that they had planned for a park where we don't have funding. Well, I say that's a great idea. And people understand that. They say, oh, no, you lose a park. Well, no, we weren't losing a park because almost 60 to 70% of the town boundary is owned by the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management. And they will allow us to put a park anywhere at no cost at all. So the replacement of the park wasn't a challenge. In fact, we were planning to put a park right on the corner of Kellogg and Homestead. Right there in BLM, we already started the plan to replace, which I thought would have been even a better location where the Kellogg Park was. But what they didn't know is that the Growponics had agreed to build a community center on the south side of town, an exhibition hall, a classroom, and a 5-acre park along with a farmer's market at their expense without much input from the town. We missed a great opportunity to kind of go forward, and they were going to go ahead and put 200 jobs. And they were getting a 25% discount on the land to go ahead and do that. That's the incentive, the only incentive that we had available to make to them. What the real loss on Growponics was not just Growponics, but about 3 or 4 other companies that were standing in the background waiting to see how the town responded to them before they come in. We have a great opportunity. A couple of days ago, you had asked me about some of the opportunity, what attracts people to Pahrump. Well, you know what? If you've got water, you could grow anything here. And because of our close proximity to Vegas, which is one of the largest cities in the world, if you think of all the tourists come in, somewhere like about 50 to 55 million on a yearly basis, the carbon footprint to grow food here under the latest technology, very highly efficient in water and space, and sell it in Vegas is a great opportunity. I've talked to mushroom companies that want to grow mushrooms. I talked to growing fish, you know, fresh fish right in the area, from vegetables to tomatoes to lettuce and green peppers in a controlled environment using even less water, like a third less of what they would do normally, and yet having it close here. And these are good quality jobs. These were not minimum wage jobs that are coming forward. And there's still an interest right now to do that in our area.
Is Growponics still interested?
Well, Growponics, we have to understand is that Jack Cassani was the investor, and he had selected Growponics, which was a franchise. Just like if I'm a restaurateur, whether I selected McDonald's or Burger King, to be the franchise to run my operation. And there's a lot of them out there, or Wendy's, or A&W, we could go, or Dairy Queen, we could go on and on. Now, so Growponics wasn't as much the issue as Mr. Cassani. Mr. Cassani is very interested, but doesn't understand some of the confusion and the misunderstanding that took place in the community.
There were so many kind of critical insults on him himself. He had filed for bankruptcy. That was one of the things. Some people thought he was going to be growing marijuana. I mean, there were so many things. Sometimes when people speak at the town board meetings, do you think that they're a little hypercritical of why people want to come here and what they're getting and all the talk about what are we offering, what's going on behind the scenes? Yeah,
you know what I would wish people to do is educate themselves. And if they don't, just call and come in there and just chat with us and tell us. You know, unfortunately, most people don't take the time to find out the facts and what's really involved, or they tend to only gravitate towards what they don't. Like I told you, most people didn't realize that he was willing. It was going to be a major tourist attraction. He was building a flagship greenhouse and working in cooperation with UNR, the Extension Service, on the study of growing fresh fruit and vegetables in the desert. that would have been a tourist attraction that would have helped, and he was willing to make those classrooms available to the town along with the exhibit hall that they would have had here. Now, you never heard anybody stand up and say, I think that's a bad idea, because they just got it set in their mind and they got on the wrong track, and we lost a great opportunity there.
And so I know that a lot of potential investors or people who are businesses they join these the town board meetings. They come and see what's going on with the town. They sit in the back a lot of the times and they see what's going on. And sometimes they're not too pleased with what is going on.
No, they don't. They don't, and they get scared. They get scared. I mean, I would say this, and I really can't put a number. This is a gut feeling, so let me give you full disclosure. But I'll bet that we've drove more companies away from our community than we'll ever attract to our community, because they see that when they come here, they look around, they say, this place is beautiful, this is great. 45, 55 minutes to Las Vegas. The taxes are great. The mountains, the space, the land. I'd love to be here. It's a small town. They want to come to a small rural community, and then they see misinformed people get up there and talk. Everyone has the right to say what they have to say, but you don't have a right to yell fire in a movie theater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are certain things you shouldn't and shouldn't do, but you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your community to become educated on a subject before you go before the town board and you talk to those people. Our town board needs to be treated with respect and dignity. And before someone goes out there and talks about an issue, they should have their facts and be backed up about that. I'm not saying that people aren't entitled to their opinion. That's what makes our country great. But you know what? They need to look at the positive side. They could write them a letter. They could go ahead and visit with them on a one-on-one. But during the town board meetings, is what you asked me, that's a time to go by facts and present it, and then make decisions based on those facts, not assumptions.
So they're off the table completely now.
I don't know if they're off the table, completely. I mean, his lease with the town. I mean, the controversy that went between the county and the town. I mean, and I think everyone meant well. Is that the county says if they did, they couldn't do it, and the town says that they could do it. And he just couldn't get his financing. Yeah. He just could not get somebody to finance the project with the threat that the county would sue him. So you know what? He was hoping that they would resolve the situation. And you know what's funny, Deanna, is that, fine, let's let the county do it. Let's give the land back to the county. And because the county could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the NRSs, there's specific NRSs, if you wanted, I could get that to you, that says that the county could give the land away, doesn't even have to lease it or give any value. Yeah. I mean, there's an NRS that's specific.
So are we looking at that?
I don't know. I mean, we'll talk to the county. I mean, I'm not being critical of the county, because if any time in the tenure that I've been here, I've never found the county to be more cooperative and moving forward. And I'm really excited about that.
They are working together well now.
Yes.
And what about the park on the south end? Are we still looking at that?
The park on the south end, which...
Any kind of park that you were talking about, maybe Kellogg Homestead, or are we looking at any kind of park?
What I would recommend, my advice is the economic development, is that we got to look at the town's assets. We need to start generating revenue, so when our expenses go up, we can offset those and not have to be at the whims of the economy. Yeah. Because we've suffered the last 3 to 5 years, on sales tax. So we need to become self-sustaining. We need to operate in a business mentality. So we need to see how we could use the assets we have as the most efficient way, and continue to expand that. Economic development is about expanding your tax base, about increasing the employment and the quality of life in the community. And that's a little bit of a long process to go through. So back on your park is that, yes, we have great plans going forward on the park project, which is the Pahrump Arts and Recreational Complex, which are going forward. We had the National Bicycle League has committed to build a international world-class track there. And right now we're going through the engineering estimates on putting that together. So again, we have some positive things going forward.